8:30. My bad. I'm gonna do two poems. The first one I'm gonna do is not mine. It's about addiction, so let's get sad. I've been thinking a lot about it. Most of my family has dealt with addiction in one way or another, and just reflecting on that, I really like this poem. It's called The Addict, a Magician by Michael Lee. This morning I awoke clutching your name with such reckless devotion that it turned into dust. Each letter fell to the floor. I know where you went, long before you vanished inside your own name. Long before the gray goose sank into your body like a river, guided by the low light burning on the horizon. I know how you found us. The pipe is a beacon. The pipe is a lighthouse. You wanted to know how to remove the emptiness from yourself. You never understood it cannot be removed. It is not a pulsing seed in the gut or a peach pit run into the mud. We weren't drug addicts, we said. We were scientists. We experimented each day, sent the smoke down into the deep mine of the chest, as though it were a rope with a hook at the end of it, to pull the emptiness back out. We partitioned ourselves away to the dark piece by piece. We did not remove the emptiness, but further became it. The mind of an addict is cunning enough to convince the body it is not dying. Houdini doesn't have shit on an addict. He was able to convince everyone but himself he had vanished. Addiction is the ethereal art of forgetting you are still here. I know where you went before the syringe perched in your arm and whistled through the vein like a steam engine, before the crack rock broke apart in a blaze of light as though it were an egg hatching fire. I know what it is to walk down an unlit street at midnight and have a gun cocked in your mouth. I know what it is to discover the gun shaking in your own hand. The most dangerous neighborhood is the one in your own mind. This is a game of masks. Question, what do you see? Anything I want. This is the magic of perception. The difference between an addict and one who is drowning is the one who is drowning knows it. The addict will drink the sea until it becomes him. Even now, 5 years sober, when I smell whiskey from across the room, my mouth still waters. I have not fed my skin of late for nearly a decade for fear of what I might let out. What sleeps must one day wake, even when you sneak through your own life like a thief. Having spent my whole nights lying awake asking why, I made it, and you didn't. I can still hear death pawing at the outskirts of town as you vanished inside the needle in your arm and swayed from the edge of a bridge. Neither one of us was any more deserving of this life. I feel ill to even think it, but I have to thank you. Some days your death is all that stands between me and a drink. There are days I went as far as to hold a bottle in my hand, but couldn't bring myself to swallow because your name was stuck in my throat. There were weeks I couldn't walk 2 blocks from the door without being asked if I wanted some kush, some grass, some white, some snow, some jack up, some jelly beans, some dust, some rocks, some good shit. And each time I heard your voice ask me, how badly do you want this life? You didn't deserve it then, but you got it. So what are you willing to do to keep it?
Ow!
This one is part of old work that I finally was able to finish, which was cool.
Woo.
I now keep my love on the top shelf, still with an eyesight but just out of reach. But if I stand on my tiptoes, I can still brush my fingertips against it, in case I need to remember that all of the things I felt were just as real as anything else, just as alive as the very moments they were born in, that will continue to grow with time, and lose their edges the way that we all do, with a tenderness maybe only the ocean could understand and all its longing for the shore. Maybe time is the kindest thing that could ever happen to us. and maybe I was the kindest thing that could have ever happened to you.